What up, family? What's up with y'all on this chill Wednesday? Why not go live? For those who tuned in to the channel or subscribed already, I'd like to welcome you to some motivation, some spoken word, free verse. For those who subscribe to the channel, you may have seen the schedule I done just posted, letting it be known that Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, we doing live streams. We got to get on a tight rope and committed, y'all. It's about to be wintertime. I'm here on the Midwest. Summers is winding down. Even though that's not an excuse to whether do it or not, but let's get to it. I mean, we got to keep trying. We got to keep working. We got to keep building and creating and doing what we got to do to, generate some steam and keep these live streams going and spreading this motivation and positivity and getting things done and reaching the people that we can reach. It's crazy. I just saw my mother. My mother flown through this video. What they call that thing when it be like a little, y'all can rewind it. For people who believe in that and see things like that. My mother passed away 2 years ago, but I just saw her in my video. So she's still watching over me. I love you, Ma. I miss you, Ma. That's crazy. It happened before in one of my videos a long time ago after she first passed. But it's like a little clear little thing that if you rewind this video, if you catch it, you catch it. But I know she with me. So shout out to her. And what I want to say on these live streams is let's stay at it. And the ones who want the motivation, those the ones that's gonna be here. And that's why I titled this video that I'm doing right now. It's like we coming harder than the hip hop songs that's going on right now. I know so many of us fed up with hip hop and steady going through this transition of still having to deal with so much bullshit on the radio and on YouTube, Instagram. We get force fed so much bullshit music and I don't want to sound like that old bitter person because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that person who just adjusting and hating this shit, but it's getting so rhetorical and it's just so fucking lame. We don't want to complain, and you don't want to be that person in the comments that be like, okay, you don't want to be that person in the comments to be like, this shit garbage. You be seeing all them fire emojis on a song, and then you be like, oh, okay, everybody like it. You like it. You don't want to be that person. Be like, damn, this shit trash. This shit is dumpster juice. But it be the same beats, the same flow patterns, the same namesakes, damn near, the same kit, the same look, the same hairdos, the same jeans, and fucking the same chicks, and the same conversations over and over. And again, I ain't saying like you gotta be on no super lyrical miracle shit, but have some substance, stand out a little bit, have some game about yourself. Bring a presence to this whole entertainment thing. Have something to say. Really be in tune, now again, it's a difference if you want some street shit, but you can still be lyrical with it. And if you can still paint stories, I mean, because we had that. And again, I'm not the complainer. I'm not the one steady beating that whole drum of music ain't shit, people ain't this, people ain't that, I don't like them, let's get it back to the boom bap. I'm not that person. I like variety and I like balance. I like substance. I like storytelling. I like people who come with some form of originality in what they do. At least make it look like, okay, this is me. Like you ain't just came out and threw on a whole image like they just put you in the capsule and just say, hey, and go out there and push this and do that. We all know the money came and changed the whole rap game. And some people switched up the style. Even 50 said that. They can hate if they want to switch the style up, but let the money pile up. Ain't that what he say? So I get it. I respect it. And I understand that, everybody move on and can change with the times. But let's get back to some type of essence with this shit, man. I wanna hear some lyrics, man. I want y'all to come with that shit. Bring some fire, bring some tunes, bring something. I mean, y'all can even have some fun. Y'all can put a little, like I said, we had the Humpty dance. I get it. Y'all got the snap. Let me get into this piece real quick off top. You see, it ain't that my hip hop was better than yours, but hey, shit, my hip hop was better than yours. Now, see, I ain't trying to separate. Cause see, for every crank that soldier boy, there was the Humpty dance. Whipping that nay-nay, hitting the quan to a dude on the corner in some tight-ass Adidas pants and a b-boy stance. But see, we was hip-hop. You see, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, and Queen Latifah all can hold their own. But see, y'all wanted Nikki to stand alone or by another female get knocked off the throne. Bone gave us harmony. Now what a coincidence. You see, now that sound like today's R&B. You see, no more love ballads. Just a bunch of rap singing and dudes talking about how high they want to get you, how they want to get the pussy. Snoop had us on gin and juice. Listen to me. Snoop had us on gin and juice. The Chronic was finally introduced. Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000, but her mama was already popping that coochie for Luke. Hell is the truth. You see, it ain't nothing new to discover. All the way down to the fashion, to the artist never asking about these demonic ass symbols and borderline gay ass album covers that the 70s started. Question. Why Jeffrey Osborne and LTD on them album covers ain't have on those shirts? Osley Brothers, Isaac Hayes, Al Green, all cleaned up like pimps. Go on your mama base and wipe the dust off them records and do your research. Cause see, the first to make me think or raise my fists was Chuck and Chris. You see, red, black, and green, before we saw delicious ass, Flavor Flav was trying to tell us what time it is. Cause see, we used to rewind shit. See, I was one of them kids in the mirror with the broom, the voice of the streets. Hip hop used to keep us all in tune. See, I'm in love with the culture, but I ain't one of them old heads that's stuck in the past. But lately, y'all been on some bullshit. Mainstream hip hop can kiss my ass. Man, these niggas trash. Only the real gon' last. Rap talk. That's how that roll, and that's how that go with. You understand? Because I'm basically telling you, not only things they stay the same, but it it's a pattern with this shit from year on after year on. After this generation that's flourishing right now, a couple years later, it's gonna be some more. And then a generation that's flourishing right now, they're gonna be looking at the ones after them. It all depends on the pattern or the legacy that get left or the influence that one leave. That's what it's all about. It's about that. It's about that reinventing. That's what hip hop does all the time. Hip hop is always reinventing. It reinvents everything. Remake songs, commercials, TV, clothes, everything one used to advertise, it always subjective and reverts back to hip hop and the culture of music and rhyming and rhythm and that whole pattern and that urban style. You know, they sit up in boardrooms often, market to us as being consumers to get it to the hood, get it to them niggas in the streets, promote it, push it. What Lawrence Fishburne say, I know every time you turn on the TV, you see the black man pushing the rock, selling the rock. It wasn't shit till it hit Wall Street. That's when they got. That's a classic though. Boys in the Hood is a true fashion classic. I mean, off top. Boys in the Hood, Menace, and all that shit. It was raw in the hood shit. That's why I say the more things change, they stay the same. And I haven't seen too many movies with that. Where's the movie of today that's hip hop based? Now it could be out there. Maybe I don't know. Somebody can, iterate and let me know if it is one out there. But where is your house party at? You know, a fun movie with rappers. Rappers playing that role. Now I know we be having them low budget movies, and we ain't even really had too many of them lately. I'm talking about where's the movies at with the rappers in it, having fun, not only selling the movie because people going to see the movie because of the rapper that's in the movie, like how House Party was, or how Boys in the Hood was with Ice Cube. You had Ice Cube being in the movie. You had Menace to Society. It was basically hip hop, even though MC8 wasn't one of the most popular rappers back there. But the real core hip hop heads, we knew Too Short was in that movie when we saw his face. We knew MC8, and plus they drove the whole Menace to Society movie off of MC8 song, the same way how they did Ice Cube growing up in the hood song. So I'm just thinking like, where's that today? Where's that movie at? Where's that hip hop movie at that's hood? It ain't gotta be hood based. But we see it with the comedians. They'll throw the comedians in the movies real quick, like the influencers, the Instagram people and stuff like that. They'll throw the models in there. They'll throw the Instagram comedians in there. They'll throw the Instagram the skit makers and stuff like that in the movies. But where's the movies at with the hip hop guys today? Where's that at? I think it could be a selling point. It could sell. But most of them so much thugging it out. They ain't even. I ain't gonna say they ain't doing movies like that, but they thugging it out so much. Where's NBA? But they is doing TV though. I say that they doing a TV and the reality shows. You got who was the one that did the OnlyFans? What's his name? The one that kept going back and forth with the girl. Y'all know who he is. I'm trying to think of him. What is it, Ciroc? Because I think he whack 100 artist also. Well, anyway, the couple. But I think he do his whole show on OnlyFans, if I'm not mistaken. But where's the movie with NBA YoungBoy in it? Where's the movie with the baby in it? you know, even if they acting skills ain't up to par like that. But and you got to remember those things convert those rappers into real mega superstars. Even with Chris Brown when he was in This Christmas, and was he in some other movies? But I definitely know when Chris Brown when he started jumping into acting, that's what was catapulting his career. And just think what that can do for rappers right now. If rappers was to jump into movies, or if those directors was to sought out for rappers and put them in movies, it can not only help their career, but it can help the movie industry also. Cause it can revert back to how it always was. Like I say, you had your Ice Cubes in movies, you had your Ice T's in movies, and the singer, Tyrese, you know, it all go hand in hand with that entertainment. If you're doing one, spread your wings and get out into other fields. And that even goes for you and me, even on the local level. Although I do poetry, I can rap. I can put some words together. You can go on some of my video. You can go on the video from yesterday. I can flow over beats and all that. But the true passion is the poetry and the spoken word because it's more subtle and in tune to the pace I'm at in life, and the audience I capture. And shout out to everybody who been checking into the Patreon. For those of you who want to hear some poetry that's a little bit, I ain't gonna say a little bit more, a lot more monotone and sultry. I put it to you like this: if you into erotic poetry, you can go to my Patreon. I had a link in the description. Matter of fact, the link is in the description, and you can go over there because I can't share that poetry over here on YouTube because it's censorship and things like that. But if you want to hear some erotic spoken word, you can go to my Patreon and just check that out and meditate to that, especially y'all women. Headphones are suggested, things like that. But let's get into another piece though. We rocking on the Wednesday. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you're just passing through and curious about what's going on. I'm doing spoken word and motivating the people over here and trying to get y'all away from the everyday rhythm morale of the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, and you know, the never ending, I want your bitch instead of my bitch. I don't know what's up with that either. Why so many why so many people want to rap about having somebody else woman or taking somebody else woman, stunting on the next and whatnot, but it is what it is, to each his own. I love it, but I hate it. I just want the balance. That's all. I ain't trying to be that grumpy old dude talking hip hop and days are old. We can't do that. What up, Jessica? Peace for checking in. Shout out to everybody in the chat who been coming through and saying what's up. We got them super chats that can fly off too if you definitely wanna. I'll make up a poem, a piece about you. If you drop a super chat and put a couple words, I highlight not only your name, but I'll make a spoken word piece up right now here on the spot in this live chat if a donation is dropped. I mean, just freestyling off the top, just showing skills. I will do that. But since I'm looking at a couple of pieces in front of me right here, let me read one off the ink. This one was called Stop Asking for Permission. I don't think I've looked at this in a while. So I'm going to read this off the ink. Really do I like reading off the ink. Hit that like button if you're just passing through also. That helps the algorithm, and I appreciate you. These people don't think like you. Don't get caught up in perception. We was raised in the ghetto. They wasn't. They don't understand our rejection. The reflection of me looking in my son's eyes when I have to say that I can't. Should I feel defeated or go the extra mile, sacrifice my whole life, even if my mind gotta go blank? No question. I lived and seen the results of making the wrong decisions. And once I got on my feet, I knew what I didn't want to go back to dealing with or living in. Enough of the police. Enough of these streets. Gas prices got us trapped. We can't even drive miles to get decent food to eat. Now, if I ran in your office with a mask ready to blast, am I considered a savior or going out in a toe tag? Both. And I quote, so call me the GOAT. Get yours. Stop asking for permission because the answer is always no. Stop asking for permission. Stop asking for permission. That's that poem of peace. Stop asking for permission. Rewind that and let that one marinate though. I know I read it off the ink and it was just red and just subtle words. But it's really a couple things in here you gotta just marinate on. Because a lot of people can have perception about you and they don't know the things that you done been through. They don't know the things you survived. They don't know the things you avoided. They don't understand how you got to the position that you in. They may just see the end results. Whether if you on the up or if you on the down, some people can just see you where you at today and not knowing the sacrifices or the things that took you to get to where you at or where you headed. Because everybody got to start, finish, and that whole middle ground of the ups and downs of shit, that's what makes you who you are. And those are the moments when you just look back and be like, you know what, I did that. Like I kept going. I got better. That's like with writing and doing what I do. Over the years, I got better. Freestyling. I mean, coming up with words and concepts off the top of the head. You get better through repetition of doing this shit. To all y'all writers out there, producers, actors, comedians, poets, whatever it is, the more you do it, the better you should get at it. I mean, it's like you get to doing it so much, you can just do it in your sleep, or you can do it backwards. You just dwell in it. I'm talking about give it energy to where it's just become a part of your DNA. It's just inside you. And you can tell the ones that practice more too. That's why people like Kobe was so serious. I mean, you hear stories all the time about that man. His legacy live on. And they say he just shot so much. They say he practiced so much. He didn't do the Iverson to practice. Practice? No, Kobe was practicing. I mean, when you love it, it's something you just do. Just imagine, even though we don't see it, sometimes we see it, but just imagine how much Steph Curry had to shoot to become as good as a basketball 3-point shooter as he is. The Splash Brothers going on to win championship. Just imagine how many shots it took, how much repetition that it takes for a Steph Curry to shoot as much as he shoot and not only make but even miss shots. Just the attempts, the odds, even in the basketball game. If he just steady shooting, even if he missing, even if he ain't got a hot streak and he ain't doing good, but if he steady throwing them shots, the odds are sooner or later something's going to go in because he's steady shooting. And that's where we at with life, with attempting and amongst our journey, taking chances. The more you keep trying, you want to come up with a better pattern of how you can make more shots. That's what Steph Curry did. He didn't become that way just overnight or when he was a teenager. He probably shot a lot when he was a teenager. He probably shot a lot, but by the time he got to the league and stuff like that. He was perfecting that. What up, bud? From Detroit, west side of Detroit. Oh, you getting very personal. I'm a poet. You want a channel right here? We saying what we do for a living. We can answer them questions. I'm a 9 to 5 and a poet, but this is definitely my craft. If you want to use the word YouTube, we can put that in there. Monetize. Definitely, I'm a writer. All of that. He talking about how much you make off YouTube. Donate. Bud talking about how much money you make off YouTube. Donate to the channel. We're going to see. Because it's going to show right on the screen how much you donate. But as long as you hit the like button, that's all that matters. But this is a growing YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. But things like that, we on the way up. We on the come up. That's why we motivating over here. Every video getting more and more views. And the more videos you do, the more views you can get. It's a lot of people out there who want to be YouTubers too also. You do that. Start your channel. You gotta have 50 views before you have 50,000. Stuff like that. I mean, work towards your goals. And that's why a lot of people don't start stuff. They be scared of them baby steps. They be scared of the beginning. They be scared that ain't nobody watching. They be scared that how they gonna receive me, how they gonna treat me. Damn, I ain't popping. What can I do? Everybody go through that phase. But do you get better? But do you keep working at it to continue and get better? That's what's gonna make you anyway. If you want, you know what I'm saying, in your early stages of YouTube, if you wanna get something going, you have to ask yourself, like, when it ain't really popping, how can I take it to the next level? Am I gonna still keep going? If I do a video and only get 2 views, am I still gonna make another video tomorrow? That's the things you gotta ask yourself. That's when you know the people who really, really want this shit and the ones who don't have that shit. Cause if I wanted to, I can boost this shit and buy views and try to make it look better. Or you see people on Spotify be having fake streams, all type of shit, and trying to, they trying to sit next to certain people to make it look better, and be like, hey, yeah, my video doing 30K, I'm doing 50K or 100,000K, I got 200,000 subscribers, and when they go live, it's only about 50 people in there. I mean, if numbers ain't adding up, man, you can't cheat this game. You can't cheat life. None of this shit. In the end, you're gonna work harder when you try to cut them corners and bend and turn and beat the system. It's not set up that way for you to succeed. And when you in the thick of this shit, that's the things that's gonna make you anyway. Go through that grind and grit. Go through them hard times. Go through them moments of not having it how you really want it. That's what's going to make you that 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 thick skin that you need. You get all that shit in the trenches. You get all that shit in the hood. You get all that with backlash. You get all that with people, you know what I'm saying? They're all gonna laugh at you. Remember that? They're all gonna laugh at you. You have to try. You have to build and see what's out there for you. And when I say these things, I'm not just talking about entertainment wise. I'm talking about life in general as a whole, the attempts of wanting more. And it's like the older I get, the more I'm just starting to see people, it's looking like to the optics. I can't call this for sure, but it's starting to look like some people are just giving up. And when I say giving up, it just kind of like they like, what's gonna be is what's gonna be. And you shouldn't have that attitude, no matter what age. you shouldn't have that age of what's gonna be and giving up and falling into that trap of only so much time left, shit like that, or my days is over. Like I said in that one poem, long as you still alive, you still got a chance. You still got some breath in your body and soul and your mental capacity, and you write and you mobile. You can create, you can dig deeper and reverse your situation if it's something that you're going through. You can reverse that. You can build a better foundation for not only you, but for the people after you. Especially if you got something to live for. Like, I mean, we all got something to live for. It's just whether if it's monetary or if it's, it's all subjective about what you choose to live for. But definitely, if you got family and a legacy and stuff like that, and people depending on you, or if you just got offsprings, just period, even if they grown. What up, bud? Let me get at you. Let me get at Bud. He in the chat going crazy. My days of some crazy situations is over, like street fights, etc. How old are you, Bud? First, let's get to that. Let's talk to Bud in the chat. He talking. Let's see if we can help Bud out. I don't mind. We motivation. I might have a poem for you. Dope deals, getting jumped, running from cops. You 38. What city you in? You say you just chilling. Just as long as you tuned in, Bud, that's cool. Well, we're gonna talk to you for a minute because we appreciate you. Shout out to Bud in the chat. But going through those situations, I mean, we could talk about it. Some of them things you talk about in the chat, I done been through myself. I done been through some of those things. A nice number of those things. We don't get too graphic, but right, you said that's the thing you were doing back in your day, and you had a YouTube, it would be crazy popular. Okay, you in Houston. Okay, see, oh yeah, I should figured you was in Houston. Some of the artists you was naming and stuff like that, because you was giving it up for a lot of them South artists. See, here's the thing, but 38 years old, whether you know it or not, you a survivor. 38 years old is young, but it's not young. And like you said, a lot of those things you was doing, you was like in your 20s. I guarantee, well, I ain't say I guarantee, but I believe, you say it was back in your days. You got to remember, see, men, we grow up a little bit slower than women. We we do things for we lash out. It be attention. You you go through things and you learn. But if you live to be 38 and you can still talk about these things, you a survivor. A lot of your friends probably done passed away amongst you, like some of mine have. Some may fell by the wayside to drugs or, you know, a victim of the streets, penitentiaries, losing things, stuff like that. So when you grow up and can tell these stories, you probably can, I don't say probably, you can help somebody else. You can tell them like, man, that ain't the way to go. Like I did that. And when you get older and you really survive shit, your soul get a little bit more sensitive to shit. Think about the way we look at news and stuff like that. Cause see, I'm in Detroit. So I hear stories of all types of wild shit all day, every day. If you look on Instagram, all these different channels, the Metro News, the Crime in the D. It be other people from other cities probably done heard of Crime of the D. You probably heard of Crime of the D. But you will just hear all these stories all summer long. Shootings, fighting, stabbings, this, that, robberies. People just lashing out for the craziest things. And then you look at the age brackets of all this stuff. It be people who are very young. So we just trying to move through the world because we done made it through all that. We don't want to go through that at our age right now because we looking like, man, if all that shit happened to me right now at 40 and that shit didn't happen to me at 20, I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to go through that shit. So your soul get more sensitive. We didn't got desensitized to hearing about violence, hearing about stuff like that. You say that was actually the funnest part of my life. Well, it's about how you look at it. See, you saying that because you survived that shit. That's why you saying it was the funnest part, because you survived it. But it's like you say, now you waking up, you work and you chill. See, you got a better life. A lot of us is like that. We got them stories, all that wild shit that happened. Yeah, yeah, you can laugh at it now because you survived that shit. But if you were still living, if somebody was on your head, and if somebody was looking for you from all that shit from all them years back, you would be singing a different tone, and you'll be moving at a different pace. That's why it's all. Think about when we was young. It was always that older person who had money or was getting money, who had all the females, who had all the cars. Them ones, the alcoholics and the dope fiends at the corner store. They just like that. They was the one with the stories. That's why they kept reliving it in their mind because it's the only thing that they remember. It was fun to them too. But see, people like you and others, we're the ones that snapped out of that whole mentality. So it's cool, like you say, it's more boring now. You just wake up and go to work. Same here. I get it. You just want to just handle your business, get the fuck out the way, and live day to day and prosper in what you can prosper in. But shit, I got plenty of stories. Sometimes I just look at them, I just laugh at some shit. Like, man, we did that stupid shit. I'm talking about I could just have a flashback of some shit and I could just be sitting up, laying in the bed, and I might just laugh to myself like, like what the fuck was we doing when we did that? Or whatever, or like parties and stuff like that. Like we all used to go to parties. Parties used to get shot up, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun like how you saying, but it is. I mean, you would think to yourself like, damn, that shit was wild. We had some fun at that party, even though it got shot up and the party was this and that, but I still met that one person, and it was still all of us, and we still all survived. We all left or whatever. I mean, you can have them wild, because you got to think about it. Temptations sound good when you survive it. It makes for a good story to tell, because you a survivor of the shit. Because we was going to parties, shit would happen, or skipping school, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just all just childhood shit growing up, and all you can do is just hope people survive this shit. You can even think about Mother Nature type shit that people survive. You would think to yourself like, damn, we survived that. What about? Oh, you in Houston though? Y'all ain't had a blackout because we just had the anniversary. What was it? August the 22nd. On the whole East Coast, it was a blackout for about 3 days. No power, no nothing, no nothing. It was hot as fuck. I just remember them 3 days. Everybody outside barbecuing all types of shit. So you can think of things. I'm in Detroit. So you can think about like how stuff didn't happen that's nature wise. I mean, even the C word, I don't want to use it, but look how many people we lost to that in 2019, 2019, 2020, 2021. The same way how you just said that all that shit was fun with the all the hood bullshit that was probably, real bad, shootouts, all that type of shit. You saying that shit was some of your funnest time in life. It's not that it was the funnest part. It's just the crazy thing because you survived it. So just think about all the people in 2019 who died, all the people in 2020 who died, all the people in 2021 who died. Now, when we look back at life, that was a scary ass fucking time in life. But at the same time, look how many people was running around with PPP loans. Some of them people gonna look back and say that same shit that you just said. They're gonna be like, man, that was the best fucking time. We all was getting money. We all had money in 2020, nigga, I was sitting on 100,000. I had 200, I had 50,000, I had 50K. We was driving Hellcats going crazy. They were telling us to stay in the house. No, fuck that. We was outside. We was going down to Atlanta. We was down, people gonna have all them same stories. Them same stories, but it still was a tragedy. It was a tragedy going. He talking about, yeah, that was you. See, fuck around with them PPP loans, all that. You better leave that shit alone. They still trying to recoup and piggyback off of that, however they can track it or whatever going on with that. But the same way that was a tragedy, it still was a lot of people who tried to make some fun of that shit. People thought this shit was really, really over. You found yourself fucking some people you ain't never want to fuck with. You found yourself, doing some or whatever. Some people was, and then we come right back to the free world. So we like what? Let's just say it really was over 2 years ago. People live right now like that shit ain't even happened. People went right back to shooting up shit. People went right back to cheating and creeping and fucking on everything and back outside. Yeah, we outside. You know what I'm saying? We were survivors of that shit. A lot of people still take some of this shit for granted. We the real survivors of that shit. For real, me and you. We the ones that still alive out of all the people that passed away in 2019, 20, 21. Bless them. God bless them. It was a sad time. It was a crying time. It was a depressing ass time. All of that shit. Some people forget about that shit. Some people just move on and live. And then some people looking like, some people still run around with their mask on. You will see a person every now and then, and I ain't even say like the shit just fully fucking gone. I can't say the shit is fully fucking gone. But what I can say, we back moving and grooving again. But you will see your person every now and then, they still y'all with their mask on. Shit should be looking old as hell, or be a dirty ass mask too, and they still pull it down to talk to you. You be like, what the fuck you got the mask on for? You putting it down to talk to me and shit. Well, like what the fuck is you thinking about the shit that you doing? You got the mask on, but you live it down every time to talk to somebody. Man, this shit is crazy. It is what it is, but we the survivors. We the ones that still moving and grooving, man. But I just wanted to come in and talk to y'all and kick it with y'all for a little bit. I appreciate y'all. Again, I hope y'all caught the message. But before you slide up out this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Join the movement, join the channel. Share the video if you will. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Raptalk, the motivation, the line, the free verse, freestyles, spoken word, poetry. Shit, damn near therapy. We just kicked it with my man Bud in the chat. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who passed through. And if you want that erotic poetry, you can go to Patreon. The link is in the description. Get with y'all in a minute. Raptalk.